So I bought one of these mics. I forget the term of it, but it's in the mid-20s. So we're gonna go ahead and work out because that's the most optimal time. I put off going to the gym a lot today because I have a bit of a cold, and with my shoulder being kind of achy, I didn't want to commit to driving all the way to the gym, and just that combination just made me lazy all day. So it's like 8 o'clock at night. It's cold, but it's been cold all day, so it's not as if waiting at night made it any worse. But my goal today is to do some squats, and the bar's really cold, and I don't really want to squat, more so than I'm doing anything else. So lesser of two evils. I don't have my shoes on yet. I got my sleeves on underneath my pants to help get warmed up as much as possible. Got one baby heater in here. If anyone has recommendations about how to heat a shed like this without me dying, because I can't use like gas and stuff, because I prefer life. But right now I have one electric heater. The other one's kind of trash, so I don't even bother with that thing. But we're going to go ahead and try to do a squat. I haven't tried to do one yet. I did a good morning and decided to try to do a different kind of video, seeing how I'm going to have to warm up for like 42 years. Oh. But I press like this above my head, doesn't bother my shoulder. It's like right there, and like my armpit's a little bit sore, so I'm not sure what I did, but thankfully it's not too bad. I think I could go overhead if I needed to today. Oh. I'm not going to play any music, so I'm going to do a different kind of video. Like I said, we're just going to commentate as I suffer. You guys can watch me die out here slowly but surely. If you hear any crackling, I'm not eating Rice Krispie treats out here. I am in fact crackling to death. Whew! One down. You'll notice I added more weight because I'm a psychopath. Oh, most dangerous part of training out here is tripping over all the crap I have around. I have this Helico bar. That's my roommate's. Behind, like the light that way, I have a Rogue training bar. And then back here, I have the first bar I bought, which is a Strength Shop Bastard bar. It's actually a real nice bar. It's like $150 or something. For as much value as I got out of it, certainly is good. Rogue training bar is certainly the most, like if you just had to get a weightlifting bar and you want to just be that, it's certainly what I'd recommend. My roommate got this bar from someone who used to be at the other gym I was at, and he passed away. And so I don't have my weightlifting shoes on yet, so we're doing some Asics style squats, but that person passed away, so their family knew my roommate, so they sold it to him. So he bought it for cheaper than what you'd get a new bar for, but he still paid a good amount for it, because he's not a psychopath who wouldn't take advantage of a situation like that, but they gave him a good deal for it. I forget what he paid for it. I went up from 70 to 120, and I threw on my cheating shoes. So I walked through this maze of death. Most common injury a weightlifter, anyone gets, it's not from the weight or any particular exercise. It's right after you finish or before. It's tripping over crap or tripping over yourself. Can't remember how many times I've either almost like broken a toe or dropped a weight on a finger, or like almost like pinched myself, not in a I'm dreaming way, but between plates or something, like right after or right before. Most dangerous time. So as soon as you finish a lift, pay attention. So you might die. The actual lift, you don't have to focus so much on. That's the easy part. But my goal today is just to work up to a heavy single of some sort. I don't really have a lot of expectations about what that will be, because I'm doing the different styles. So I'm not playing music, which does tend to help me a lot. I'm also not particularly motivated, and like I said, I have a bit of a cold. So with all those excuses aside, let's smoke this 120. Oh, that's too much. It's too much weight. Oh, I moved all right. Oh. Gotta get back up. Now, the hard part of squatting when it's cold is that it's cold and you have to do squats. So my biggest recommendation for if you have to train when it's cold is to not, but if you do, a little trick is if you set yourself on fire, you simultaneously are no longer cold, nor do you have to continue to train in the cold. So really, it's a little untold secret, because if you just light yourself up like a religious protester, you defeat the cold, and you don't have to train in the cold. But if you have to train in the cold, the best recommendation is to not rest long between sets. Have some sort of heater on, even if it's small, because that little electric heater is not doing much, but you can use it to continually warm up your hands and any exposed extremities that you may have, because when it is cold, most of the heat leaves your body, or it coagulates or collates, whatever. It's cold, I can't really think, but all your blood goes to your important organs, and so your fingers and stuff get cold, your head lets out a lot of heat, so it's important to keep those as warm as you can and just not rest long, because that keeps your body the most warm, is if you're just kind of moving around and breathing a lot, hoping to get the shed warmer, but it's not. So this is 170 now, if my math is correct, because the blues make it 355 pounds in here, so it's 375. It's really after this rep, I know if I can squat or not, which is always no. The answer has always been no. But sometimes I'm able to go up from here and sometimes not. It took a while to get used to the jumps of 70, 120, 170. I've tried to make crazy jumps to like 220 from here. That's just too heavy as a percentage. But at the same time, it's not bad to try to take those big jumps like that, because at some point it's beneficial for training to not have to do smaller jumps. Like from here, going from 170 to 200 used to be a big jump, but now it's like I'm going to probably do that on the next rep. So it's not a big thing. It's not a stressful thing. I'm not having to get like super hyped up any more than normal. But you want to be used to those big jumps because it saves your energy for your training, and you can work to those heavy weights more frequently, which is obviously one, the goal, but it's also beneficial in general because you're going to get stronger if you're able to use heavier weights. But it takes practice. You're not going to take a big jump like that the first time, but eventually will have to try to take a bigger jump. And it's always better to start with a lighter weight and try to take a bigger jump. If you're going, 70, 120, get used to that jump, and then get used to the 70 to 160 120 to 160 and stuff like that. Because that is part of training as well, is your tolerance to those jumps, and realizing if you take a big jump that the amount of difficulty more that you feel. So going from 70 to 120, going from 120 to 170, that's going to feel, a certain amount of heavy. And then you kind of know where you can jump from there. If like this feels hard, then I know I might not have much more, or I could jump to like 190, feels fine. I could jump to as much as 205. It kind of gives you that leeway, so you can kind of regulate based on that particular day. But I've rambled on enough and procrastinated this lift, so we'll see how 170 goes. I got these blocks behind me, so I'm going to step back enough. Not so much that I can fail on them. I was mostly lazy and didn't want to put them up, but they're kind of nice to have. Obviously for the regular lifts, but for squats. Oh, I actually didn't feel too bad. Oh, I didn't put the collar on there. Whew. And so then, with a rep like that, you can kind of assess. Well, let me turn the video off and I'll start back up here in a sec. With a rep like that, my assessment is obviously doing a crazy jump, like the 210 would be obviously too heavy. 200 seems like a good number to go from here. And then to kind of assess if I can go up from there or not. Because while that felt kind of achy, I felt like it moved all right, which is about all you can ever expect in a lift. Very rarely does it move great. Very rarely is it that day where everything just goes fantastic. So the green makes 405. I guess I could have just added the yellow. I'll do that because that's 425. As you see, I like to keep my plates very organized out here. Just throw them in very specific spots, not just randomly around. Whew. Apologize for the sniffles, but having a cold and it being cold means I'm going to sniffle more and more. So 425, a little blue, a little green, and a collar. Whew. Yeah, find all those little plates. And the collar. But 200 seems like a good number. I don't know if I'll go up from here. Based on just kind of the general circumstances, might be good just to stay here and call it a day from here. But never know. I mean, obviously it's not going to be like the last heavy back squat day where I got up to 220, most likely, unless this just randomly goes crazy well. I'm hiding over here behind the other sides where I keep the chalk. But the 200 seems like a good number to be able to get today based on how 170 felt and the fact that I'm going to be taking shorter rests than normal out here. I'm kind of like walking around between sets, so it's usually not the... I mean, it can be good. Just all depends on how you are individually, but usually not the most optimal to be kind of like not sitting between sets if you're trying to go super heavy. So we'll see how this goes. Whew, that and with the no music certainly will make a difference, but you don't need music to lift heavy weights. I can just listen to myself groan in pain. All right. Oh, this is 440, 200 kilos. Oh, actually didn't feel too bad. Oh, surprisingly didn't go too bad. So we'll do one more. Well, fortunately I lied to you all. I said I'm probably not going to get up to something like 220 today, because that's what I'm going to try next. I started to load 225. That would have probably been too much. But this green makes 475, so then 485. This is where lifting in the shed becomes difficult, because I believe 220 kg makes, I'll do that later. Oh, my phone wants to update. I disagree. I don't want to update. Okay. This is the hard part of lifting, is figuring out how much weight I'm actually lifting. So 485, all right, so that is correct. So this will certainly be the most I will do today. I don't envision myself trying to do more than this, because that would just be rather silly. But As you guys saw, the 440 moves pretty okay. So we'll see how this moves. It's a relatively big jump up to this weight, but I jumped 30 kilograms to 200, and so this would be 20. I've made this jump many times. Sometimes successful, sometimes not. But last one felt pretty good, so I'm pretty confident in this. Moved better than I thought it was going to go. Sniffles aren't fun. But I had the blogs here if I need them. I'm always got to make sure the weights are loaded right. But after this set, theoretically I would do some pulls, but we'll see. Just got to make this go up. Rather stressful once you get above like 210 for myself. Then it becomes a very high percentage, especially beltless. Because what my beltless PR is 225 I did last week. So, whew. All right. See what happens. What the heck? I mean, fantastic. I don't really know why it moves so well, but I'm going to cut it off there. That's another important thing of strength training, is you always want to try to leave a little bit in the tank if you can. Because I think the next one, I think the next one would have a chance. I kind of want to try it though, because that was a big jump to that. I think I will. Whew, I might cheat and put some music on though, because that actually moved, which it shouldn't have. All right, so that's 75, 95, 505. That's where things get a bit nerve-wracking. But we'll throw music on for this one. I mean, I haven't used it yet, so maybe it'll give me a little bit of boost. Usually does. Oh, this would be like a two and a half kilogram PR, whatever 505 is in kgs. Because the 225, well, I got my phone out, so we'll see what it is. Oh, we're still recording, nice. So this makes, man, I might have to do 230. What's 230? All right, well, we're going to make it 507 because 229 is a silly number. So we're going to throw on this baby plate. If I can squat 505, I squat 507. Is no problem. Is no problem. Whew, all right. 75, 95, 505, 507. So then this would be the 5 kilogram PR. A nice whole number. Now this is the most important part of lifting, is finding a good song. Fortunately, all the good ones get copyright struck. But you know, sometimes you just gotta vibe to anything you can find. You know, I'm confident I'll be able to get this. I try to talk myself out of trying it, but I think today is the day. We'll just leave the camera on rolling. Donde. I'll play this one. So weird. I love it. Ooh. There's nothing. Ah. Woo. Not today. It's good to be confident enough to try that. In a sense, I just didn't fully commit on trying to push it up, but when you're not fully committed on the way up, it's usually good just to yeet it off. 220 is still really good. It's really nice I didn't do anything crazy to try to get that up. That would have been really crazy to take a 10 kilogram jump from that 220 to be able to get that. Whew. Wakes up the body to try a heavy weight like that, but whew, that's a lot. So now the real question is, what do I do now? Obviously, I'm done squatting because I have accomplished the goal of the day of doing a heavy single. Yesterday, I got the volume in. Obviously, I have to unload all this crap. Suckiest part of squatting and deadlifting is when there's 4,000 plates on the bar. I suppose it's a good problem to have, but it's a better problem to have when you actually make the lift than when you miss it, I suppose. But I guess since I'm probably towards the end of this workout, since I'm probably going to keep this short and not do overhead stuff and probably any pulls, just because I don't feel like moving all the blocks. But if you like this style of video, let me know. It's certainly going to take me more time to edit, and it's going to be a lot longer than normal, but could be interesting, I suppose. I'm seeing a lot of these mics like this and some Instagram stuff. So I got interested in it, and I figured it could be kind of neat to try it out. And this was kind of the perfect day to try it out, because out here in the shed, the sound is actually really good. If I had any musical talent, I could make music out here because it's pretty soundproof, or at least there's not a lot of like echo. But alas, I don't have any artistic talent. I can't draw, I can't sing. I have no ability to play an instrument. All I can do is lift average weights. So this is the part I hate, is deciding which side to get the plates off of. Thankfully, they kind of just slide off. I don't have to try to lift it up, which is a really nice part of having bumper plates with these metal inserts. They seem to slide off really naturally. But what I think I'm going to do, this obviously won't be part of the video, but instead of doing the rest of it, actually do a lot of mobility work inside, not out here. Obviously it's too cold and dusty, but it's kind of a good day because I almost didn't train and got obviously a good squat in. Took a crack at a really heavy one and got sweating a little bit, which is nice. But if you like this kind of video, let me know. I know most of my face isn't on there. I wasn't too worried about that. I was more focused on trying to squat well and not get too distracted through all my talking. But whew, I guess I'll talk to you all in the next one. But I hope you all have a great day. And yeah, again, let me know what you think of this kind of style. But peace out.